We are back. It's grand final time. The hype is real. One more ticket to GCS Winter will be handed out to the winner of this upcoming best of 5. It's the golden boy Foggy, who's been to Shanghai 3 times already, versus Cash, who misses China since 2014. He wants to go back. He wants to accompany his orc brother, orc worker, but it's gonna be a tough battle. Foggy is the big favorite. There's quite a bit of history between the two. We are in map number 1. It's gonna be Ancient Isles. Map vetoes, quite obvious, I would say, as Cash is getting rid of Terranas stand. Foggy doesn't want to feel the claws of a Blade Master on Echo Isles and decides to go for AI instead. Chat is very one-sided here, 77% for Foggy, and I asked Mr. Farsight on Warcraft3.info in a best of 5. This tool, this prediction tool, gives 62% odds to Cash, but it says it's gonna be a 3-2. I would be surprised, to be honest, but we have seen some surprises.
Yeah, and it's a rematch as well. The two already met in the upper bracket, and Cash held his own for a long time, basically in both those games. But in the super late game, when it matters most, when it's about control, when it's about decision making, timings, items, all that good stuff, it seemed like Foggy was the superior player. Didn't really have to sweat too hard. Cash has shown today that, and not just today, but yesterday as well, that hero kills are always a possibility for him. Ensnare, Hex, Backstab, crits. Have to be very careful with this, but Foggy so far has been able to keep his heroes alive pretty damn well, which isn't always the case. So yesterday, heroes remained alive. Today, in this best of 5, let's see if Foggy is going to be as dominant again.
We saw this match at the Western Qualifier number 1 in the winner bracket final. Foggy before defeated the Great Wall, who played headhunter strategies against him, and then had a 2-0 over Hawk. He went into this winner bracket final undefeated, and Cash was the first to show cracks in the shield of Foggy. Took a map out of him, and it was a lot closer than we thought. Actually, Cash was able to take the first map off of Foggy. Back then it was Amazonia. This time it's gonna be Ancient Isles, which Foggy won 3 weeks ago in that winner bracket final. But yeah, 2014, the match against Cash was Foggy's road to glory, the start of this road to glory, with the still unbelievable Hippo Rider Archer play that we will never ever forget. Foggy has been Cash's nemesis in those qualifiers. He was always the roadblock. He was always the one stopping him. And yeah, Cash has practiced, he said. Was it enough? We will see about that. Grand final, best of 5, Foggy, Cash. Here we go.
Alright, does Foggy have something special and new in store for us? I don't believe that that's going to be the case, but we never know. Foggy used to be the tricky player, the cheesy player, the special strats player, but he has become a very solid, very strong in all regards Night Elf player. There were a lot of voices, or a lot, let's say, a lot of questions this year. Who is the best Night Elf in the world? We didn't seem to have a clear answer, but when we look towards GCS results, has to be Foggy.
Clearly.
3rd place, last installment, and the one before that as well. Better than any other Night Elf in the world. Not going to Shanghai this time would be a big disappointment for him. But Cash, he wants to go badly himself.
Indeed. Foggy has a big following in China as well, since he shows emotions on stream. His boxing persona after wins, of course, got him a lot of attention. Everybody loves him there. People are offering little boot camps where he can go 1 week earlier to practice with Nettie's ping to get into best shape for GCS as possible. And Foggy is the most dedicated Warcraft player in Europe at the moment. And it did pay off in the past year. Will it help? Last time in the grand final, Orc Worker got the 2 first maps against him, and that was a huge surprise. Foggy fought back, equalized the series, but in map 5, Orc Worker was still superior. Will it once again be an Orc that stops him? Will Cash be the 7th Orc in GCS Winter, or will Foggy join Moon check and Lawlight and life? That's the question that we will answer here. Claws of attack for the demon does start off very well.
And very unusual opening here by Cash. Going for the Peon Scout. Already this is not the norm. And maybe he was expecting a greedy creep camp to be taken by the Night Elf, but that didn't happen. So kind of a blind counter was going on here. And that means that his tech is going to be quite a bit later than it would usually be. With, of course, that one Peon that was not harvesting lumber. And with that, it's actually going to be the Night Elf ahead of the Orc in tech. And now going for the Burrow as well. And he's going to cancel that one also.
It's not starting off well for the Russian. Definitely not. The Gloves of Haste also not the item that he was looking for. Foggy with the 21 supply trick again. He's blocking in the Demon Hunter now. Oh, actually, he opens it up with the Windwalk again. Quite a bit of damage, but the Demon Hunter will easily walk out. He did the damage that he needs. He prepares his opponent kind of like a boxer, actually. So the push will be big with the Beastmaster. You said it. The tech is ahead, and that opens up the door for tier 2 building cancellation. And who in the world does that aggression tier 2 push better than Foggy?
He's gonna cancel the Burrow again. That's annoying. Of course, he has one coming up in the back. Can he maybe get a surround here? That will be the dream to force the TP. The Peon opens up the way. Almost had the surround closed there.
No Windwalk anymore on that Blade Master. Otherwise, he could have chased him, but not the case anymore. Cash is in trouble for sure. Will he get this Burrow back up? I mean, it's Beastmaster time very soon. 60% done. He has the shop up for the staff. He has, again, his trademark item, the Staff of Teleportation.
And the Agent of War here was not being greedy, did not go out into the middle of the map to try for the Gnolls. I guess these are also technically Gnolls. He's gonna get level 2 from this, and he's gonna be satisfied with that alone here, it seems. Alright, looking at the Tree of Ages, we still have a couple of seconds left until it's gonna be Beastmaster time. Time enough to kill the last little Gnolls. And
you
then
can see here that it was a good decision by Foggy to not go for that spot, because Cash was expecting him there. He was hanging around the Gnoll spots, trying to steal something, but yeah, no Engine of War, no Demon Hunter, so he only got the Archer.
A player's forces are under attack.
And now he's got the Staff of Preservation as well. And here we go, into the middle. Beastmaster is already there. The Quillbeast is moving forward, and I would not be surprised to see a staff onto the Quillbeast very, very soon. And if he gets both tier 2 buildings cancelled and keeps them from coming up, this is such a rough spot for Cash.
Indeed. Can he walk through the peons? Yes, it's not blocked. Here we go. Staff action. Demon Hunter is in. Beastery will be cancelled, and the Lodge was a little bit late as well. Blade Master's coming in for the defense. This was Orc Worker's solution against this. Keep the Blade Master as close to your base as possible. He was there, he was in time, but Foggy says no. Cancels the Beastery, cancels the Lodge, and this is a disaster.
How much longer can he keep them from coming up? Not too much, as the staff out will have to come. Here we go, Bestiary again. Does he have the lumber for the Lodge? Not quite yet. In a moment, though, he will. They are late, definitely, but they will be coming up. The Night Elf, of course, teching at home. Ancient of Winds are coming up. I'm sorry about the slight inaccuracy here. This is a best of 5, of course, in our grand final, not a best of 3, as you guys were pointing out in the chat. Thank you very much. And now Foggy, what does he want to do? Look for more aggression or go for some creeping? He's next to the red camp. He was probably thinking about it, but he's going to go into the base again. If he cancels this again, this is true disaster.
Quillbeast is there, but the ration is over. Here we go again. Not too much mana on the Beastmaster anymore. TC and Grunt, 2 big bounces there. Can the Orc Burrow help? Yeah, mass attack speed, but he gets rid of that Grunt, and everything points towards Foggy as the winner so far. Can Cash recover somehow?
Here he has the boots. Could he perhaps force the TP here? With the Quillbeast blocking, it's unlikely.
Mana burn again, so no Windwalk against this, and he's just easily running away.
He lost one Grunt at least. He didn't get the tier 2 buildings cancelled again, but now he doesn't have any Grunts to creep. Not a single one.
He has to share experience here, of course, as this is These are his only units at the moment. Tier 3 is almost done for Foggy, who is creeping now. Second Gloves of Haste. And only now the first Walker is coming. End Snare upgrade is not there yet. Grunt and Raider as reinforcements. And Demon Hunter level 2.5. First talents are there. Foggy is positioning himself quite far out on the map. Not playing as passive or something. Trying to go first round. Doesn't work. Foggy very good in this Houdini actions. Quite a bit of a mistake to not cancel this Druid. Master Training is going to be slightly delayed. But as you see, Adept upgrade is not even in sight yet.
Yeah, it seems like he doesn't even need the Master Training to be in fighting shape. He has crippled the Orcs so much. Look at the army. 1 Grunt, 1 Raider, 1 Walker. This is not the dominant tier 2 force that Orcs usually want to have before the Master Training hits.
Sentry Wards will grant him a bit of vision. Is it time for an Invo Potion and Heal Scroll? Yes, it is. Quite early on. Demon Hunter tanking this, and he gets the close attack. Oh, he had that before. What did he get? One of Illusion. Poor Night Elf army. Not that great. Master Training has started. Master Training is 40% done. And cash is 37 supply only. And this won't increase too much.
He has crept 2 yellow camps and a red camp without Master. Foggy is getting so much out of this mid game. It's crazy.
He has the supply lead. Cash, is he still supply stuck there? No, he's not. But his Spirit Lodge is busy with the Walker upgrade.
And the Health Stone for Foggy. Perfect item. Hitting level 3 here. And the TC is on the other side of the map. On AI, we see this a lot. Mirrored creeping. One at the top, one at the bottom. But usually it's the Orcs who want to deal damage early before they are even in terms of like fighting prowess. Blade Master though might be able to steal the item. That's nice.
Yeah.
Gets the Zoe Mask.
Zoe Mask would mean a lot more summons for the Beastmaster. This is not the case now, as it is more shockwaves. But of course, I think the Robe of the Magi would have been better because it can still be burned the entire time. What does he get here? Of course, the dream is a Vamp Aura. Second best, I guess, it really is the Robe of the Magi. Lots of hurt units. Level 3 TC, that's good. Zoe Mask again.
If I'm not mistaken, by the way, that stacks up multiplicatively. So that should be a hell of a lot of regen.
It's quite good, that is true.
A player's force
But Foggy's push is coming. He does have Master Talents now. Preservation Staff, Heal Scroll, Town Portal, and the Health Stone. He's set. Cash is expecting this. And he needs to heal up. Usually you have this 10-foot advantage. It is not the case now. Equal supply. What can the TC do with his inventory?
Positioning up on the high ground might be a good idea here for Foggy. AI, it's not the worst map to find good positions for the Night Elf, and by that I mean chokes, of course, but can also be wide open spaces, like here next to the windmill. This is probably where Cash wants to drag Foggy. Inventory-wise, we have 2 scrolls of healing for Foggy. No invul, though, so he might get end snare locked. However, of course, he does have the Health Stone available. And he's gonna drive him back here.
3 Quill Beasts in the air. Dispel number 1 against the Berserker. That's a huge damage dealer in Cash's army. He's not supposed to lose them. He bought some time for a 55 supply army. But how much can he do with it? Blade Master's going for the illusion, wasting a lot of damage out there. Torrent Chieftain high up in the air, but the Shockwave is looking quite good. Here we come. And that was nice. How many can he get out? The Demon Hunter is far away. Oh no, he's actually right next to the TC. There's gonna be a mana burn soon.
Here we go. TC doesn't have mana anymore. The Zoe Masks don't seem to be doing too much for him. Heal Scroll has been used by the Orc. Down to 46. Using the invul on the blade and not doing anything with it. That is not the way this is supposed to work. And QQ and GG.
A walk in the park for Foggy through Ancient Isles. Again, Cash not finding a solution on this map for Foggy's aggressive playstyle. And yeah, man, that was all a little weird by Cash, to be honest.
And it started very early with a simple thing, so simple as a Peon Scout. that delayed his tier 2, that leads to both tier 2 buildings being delayed even further. And then Foggy could just do whatever he wanted on the map, even without master training. And that can spiral out of control so quickly when you're going up against a player with the caliber of Foggy. And we had 2 new resubs here by Shufflebite for 9 months, saying Easy Prime, and Night Biazer for 15 months, giving the WC3 less than 3. Thank you guys very much.
And a shout out to Cologne to Todd, who has hosted us after his stream. Thank you very much for that. And I hope you enjoy this grand final now alongside us.
And I think next map is gonna be Twisted. Cash's choice.
Indeed, we're discussing hosts here quite a bit. And of course, they're all talking in Russian, as it's their mother language. Yeah, Cash doesn't want to play Talents, as it seems. It is Twisted. This is usually Dryad time. But what does Foggy have in store? This was the map where we saw the Hippo Riders, and what a demonstration it would be if it plays it again. We haven't seen it too much since then. Like
Oh, it would
three times maybe.
Would be a beautiful throwback, but that may just be a once in a lifetime Warcraft thing.
Yeah. It's very, very rare that we rave about something 2 years
for
after.
years, yeah.
There's this one game of WFZ versus T8 we were still talking about from time to time on AZ.
Yeah, yeah.
And this is second.
Like mind-blowing games.
Yeah. And of course,
Those are
Shishi
games-
versus Lawlight with the Chimeras in the mirror. We
That
keep
was
mentioning that quite a bit as well.
Yeah, so cool how yeah, those super special games that pop up every now and then. Very rare, of course.
Indeed. So the hosts seem to have a few issues here at the moment. So what do you think Cash needs to do in general to crack Foggy? Where are Foggy's weaknesses in this matchup?
I don't really think he has weaknesses, to get that out of the way first. When I see Cash playing against Foggy, I see a lot less decisiveness than I see against other players. He oftentimes runs in with speed scroll or without, he throws a few ensnares, he goes for the talents, and then he is like dropping to, let's say, 50% HP, and then he runs away. And when the Orc army starts doing that, it becomes very inefficient. The talents keep shooting, the dot of the Orb of Venom keeps ticking, you have to commit to a fight. And usually, he always does this, and rarely makes the wrong choice at being decisive, aggressive, or passive. But against Foggy, I don't know if it's respect or what, but he doesn't seem to be so sure of what to do.
It's true. Orkwalker had a really nice solution. I mean, the most important thing for Foggy's tactic is the tier 2 push with the Beastmaster. That has been the case since his first journey to China when he defeated Lin in a major, major upset.
Yeah. And that's also something to point out on AI. You know this push is coming, so what you want to have to defend is obviously Blade Master, NTC, and Grunts. And he only had a single Grunt. I understand that Grunts fall off heavily in the late game, but don't you at least want 2? It's also going to help you with creeping then later. So...
yeah, like, a key to this is you need to be as close to your own base as possible. Or maybe close to the tavern to do damage there already. But you don't really want to focus the Beastmaster, right? You want the damage on the Demon Hunter. So he will staff in no matter what. There's no Ensnare yet. There's no Hex, obviously, in that matchup. So
one thing you can do is skip the shop in favor of an even faster tech. And that way, maybe you're fast enough to not get the tier 2 buildings cancelled. But I'm not even sure that the math checks out there. On Twisted especially, the tavern is pretty damn far away from the main. So maybe there it could work. But also on Twisted the issue is, the base is so wide open, can you even block the entrance with Grunts?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Questionable at least. We will see that all in a few minutes as the game is finally hosted. And players are in, streamers are in. And we start this. Foggy versus Cash 2. Cash needs this equalizer. It's his map choice. It's where he wants to play. It's where he feels comfortable. It's where we most likely will not see talents this time.
Alright. I always enjoy Twisted Meadows. There's a lot of different strategies to be played by the Night Elf. A lot of them revolve around expansions. Mercamp access, expansions, dryads, sometimes even along with talents. Dryads and talents at the same time, and mass production, mercenary support and all that. And he's spawning close to the Mercamp, so if he wanted to go for that, he has flipped the lucky side of the coin here.
I could also see Foggy with an AP push though. Huntress opening is here, so no Engine of War creep. Pretty much Moon style again, we keep mentioning this. Moon, big role model for Foggy, and basically he always opened up with Huntress, or a lot of the time. It's not an altar, not a tavern build, so no Beastmaster. It's gonna be a Demon Hunter. There we go. But I could see an AP push against this.
Yeah, definitely. That's one of the many valid strats here on TM, making this map interesting. One of the strats, Neo, is Hippo Rider Rush, but as we said before, that may have been a once-in-a-lifetime thing, but this is, yeah, where the iconic game took place 2 years ago.
What Remo likes to do is quite a bit of archers, and then position some, or build some Engines of War here at the choke of the Orc, so it's not detected that quickly. And then, yeah, try to rush the base with it. We see no Engine of War, by the way, and no Hunter Soul. Shouldn't we have it by now? Like the resource? Okay, there we go.
And they're coming up here.
Yeah. War, Hunter's Hall, next. Well, classic Hunter's opening. Blade Master here. We don't see fast here like Soen and Who sometimes play. So all very standard so far.
Yeah, and Foggy still has the options open to him. He could go into expansion play. He could go into talents. He could go into dryads. He could even go into bears. But I haven't seen that in forever. Blade Master going for his first Tome of Experience attempt. 20%. Not lucky enough.
Tome of Strength, a little bit of HP. Shop is up, so he goes back, heals up Demon Hunter Scouts for this. But yeah, slow opening to the second map. As it always is the case with Huntress, obviously. Cash with dual burrow, so no one burrow tech, no rush. For more creeping in the early stages with a few more grunts.
Yeah, and that's going to mean that despite the Huntress opening, Foggy's going to have the faster tech. But here we go, Cash drawing even. Of course, having a lot of grunts early here can be very valuable. Spreading yourself across the map to creep the little green camps. The grunts can do that by themselves, and the Blade Master does it in another position, getting closer to level 2. Or, ideal scenario, getting the null camps closer towards the tavern. But that is Foggy's job. Don't give him the null camps for free. Don't give him level 2, level 3, and all those claws for free. And then the early game should be looking okay enough. The demon, of course, will be severely underleveled, but that is just the nature of TM.
Indeed. So.
Oh my god, you were right! Wait a minute. We've seen a lot of this fake 1 AP push, though. Oh, it's nighttime. He saw it, though. Alright, he saw it.
But with that, he kept the grunts on alert. They stay in the base. They can't help him with creeping. The Blade Master does it alone, but of course that takes time. But yeah, sneaky little move already. I wonder what the follow-up is.
Yeah, we've seen this quite a bit recently. Just 1 AP in the Orc base, force him to respond. Not a bigger commitment, just 1 AP. And of course, grunts will be required to deal with that. To cancel it or to kill it once it's completed. And yeah, they keep scouting, and they're being pretty inefficient at the moment. Not creeping any green camps, not killing any nulls, just looking for trees.
The Blade Master gets a few of these nulls and trappers here and there. Buys the staff now, so whenever something is happening in his base, he's ready, he can staff back in a few seconds, he will be there. A lot of evasion creeping. Foggy was scouting this little spot here, expecting Cash there, but he's a lot faster already. And scouting for an expo here, which is not there, as we know, but he didn't.
I like the tally staff here on the Blade Master in case he needs to come home to defend. Using the staff right here. Oh, the Huntress blocked the way. The Grunts couldn't get out. But now they can. Blade Master with the dust appeared. But the Demon Hunter, he got to do some creeping of his own here. And the first Knolls will be taken by the Night Elf. And these Grunts are still just camping at home. Not killing any neutrals. Not gathering any experience for their master. For Yoshura. Who's still only level 1.
Of what's to come. And it's only Engines of Wind. Like, there's nothing special about this. At all. And he's buying so much time by putting some fear into Cash's play. Level 2 on the Demon Hunter. Level almost 2 on the Blade Master. Finally the Grunts are brave enough to leave their hometown. Mother kicked them out. Go out in the wilds and bring some honor to the Orcish horde.
And in the main base, double Bestiary, Shadow Hunter. This could be Wyvern, this could be Raiders. Against Masked Dryads especially, we've seen quite a bit of Masked Raider play to counter. But European style seems to be more Wyvern, but no, he is going for the Raiders.
Okay, might be a little grubby style. With Raider pushes into the base, especially with Pillage. This is very nice. Forcing TPs, running out with speed scrolls. Beastmaster gets item and experience here. Which is
SH drawing closer, and he actually TPs out of this.
I don't know what to feel the hexes. Give it free experience to him. 2 of agility. Quite nice. Plus 2 damage as well there, but the boots of Kel'Thalas are really nice for the Demon Hunter.
We saw a crazy stack demon on agility earlier today from Lawliot. What did he have? Like plus 22 agility or something? It was absurd.
Quote Remo, what a glass cannon.
He died twice, Neo. What do you have to say about that?
It's true. Look at this. Claws, slippers, and big mana potion. Very good drops for the Demon Hunter. The mana potion though, not that
great. He
staffed
out. He used the staff. There's no TP. Foggy, what are you doing? He gets out of the surround. He was almost surrounded there. That could have been the kill. That was inches away. Foggy, how greedy are you? Staffing out the Huntress? Jesus.
Moonstone being used now to fill up those moon wells. Master training has started. Raider production? Not really. Yeah, there we go. Next one. There's no Spirit Link. There's no Disenchant. So there's nothing against Cyclone. For Cash. And Foggy's camping there. As long as he's camping there, he can't really do too much against the Moonwells. Everything is hiding here.
It's cool how the Huntresses make it so the demon can't get surrounded. Sees him though with the Dust of Appearance, and here we go. Wants to fight before Master is done, but this is a very fortified position. Can't find any kills. Of course, he could get the Huntress here, but it's only a Huntress.
Foggy just slams the door right in his face. No, not in my house, bro. Here comes the Spirit Lodge. Late transition for Cash. This is a very, very late walkers. Very, very late to spell, but absolutely needed for this. And so far, it's only 1 speed scroll, right? Yeah. Could need more. This transitions into a more normal Orc Night Elf Talon play game. Sobi Mask on the Shadow Hunter is certainly nice. And of course, crits are coming out. Invul and Heal Scroll as well. But Laboratory Creep for the Night Elf. He's taking his sweet time to get Mana Burn 2 and the Hawk.
And the Fairy Fire is so nice now. Of course, with the Walkers being so late, he can't dispel it. Gives perfect vision to Foggy. Doesn't have to be afraid of a creep check in the slightest. Finds a Tome of Experience and another boost of Quel'Thalas. Alright. We're getting the Agi stack again.
Exactly. Plus 15, plus 26 damage, 10.5 armor. And the Tome of Experience for the Beastmaster, who does have the Hawk now. Mercenary camp for Cash. He wants the big mana. He gets the Scroll of the Beast. It's also nice. There is no Dispel in Foggy's army if there's no Wisp nearby. And if you take a look at the minimap, there's no blue dots anywhere. So pulling in Wisps not very likely. Berserker as well. Foggy creeping up its expansion for level 3. The Demon Hunter still far away. Got a town portal here just for safety reasons. And Cash is going back. No tier 3 for him.
As the Fairy Fire is wearing off, now comes the Hawk to do more scouting. I really like this play by Foggy. Oh, the Tinker, though, is pretty much by himself. Speed Scroll could maybe be fast enough to get in range for an ensnare. Not using it, though.
Blade Master is not enough, except if he blocks him like all the way, but that's not possible. Rest of the Night Elf army comes to the rescue. Beastmaster not 3. 49 supply. A few Hunters against the Raiders are decent, or at least better than the Archers are. He gets to level 3 before the fight. 2 Berserkers now.
And I think Cash cannot fight at all. Everything's just gonna get cycloned. He has no disenchant.
It's finished now. But yeah, at that point he couldn't fight.
The player's forces are under attack.
He doesn't have a walker yet, so the upgrade at the moment doesn't do too much for him.
Yeah, you're right.
And I think Cash has to drag this out here until he has at least 3 walkers.
Yeah. He goes into upkeep already, gets the rest spot. Pendant of Mana for the SH. Quite nice inventory already with the Zombie Mask, with the 250 plus mana from that one. Foggy is expanding behind an attack, which is coming towards the Orcish base. We have a Town Portal, heal potion. The Tinker is naked though.
Not that many talents for the Night Elf, but they have good mana on them. So we have quite a few Cyclones.
One single walker. That is not enough.
Only around 100 mana.
Heal scroll.
Really needs more walkers.
Yeah, heal scroll and invul or second heal scroll? Second heal scroll. He's not up against the TC, so there's no area of effect. A long Congo line for Cash here. Even the first Bat Rider. Despite their... Okay, against the Hawk, I guess. There's no Fury Dragons yet. And again, the shop is the first victim to this attack.
The Grunts aren't so great in these late game fights, but neither are the Huntresses. Which are worse? I'm not really sure. They're both pretty bad. Shop is getting remade. Alright. Both are posturing here. Cautious to take a bad fight.
Next walker is out, the second one, but he needs time to get some mana regen. Heal wave being used before the first fight. Here we go, Blade Master being cycled, obviously. Shadowhunter far in the back, has a mana potion on him, plus a 435 mana pool. He can certainly do some nice heal waves and hexes.
And here we go. Not too many Cyclones yet, I'm surprised here. Oh, mass Cyclones now. He uses one of his disenchants, but guess what? That is the only one! No more disenchants. If he Cyclones up the Raiders, there's nothing that the Orc can do to get them down again. Invul popped on the blade. Can he find a kill with it? Invul's already over though, and what damage did he really do before he's up in the air again? There is so much spinning time happening here on TM. Again, the low walker count really becoming painful, and I like how he's prioritizing burning the walkers here. He knows that the Cyclones will win him this game. Desperate hero kill attempt on the Hexed Demon, but everything's just spinning. No chance. Cash cannot win this fight, or is there some miracle possible here? Can the SH maybe, with his Pendant of Mana, do something? Well, he needs army to do this, and he has a couple of Raiders remaining. But they by themselves, I don't think can win this fight.
He's taking out the Berserkers there. Mass damage drop by Cash. Now everything is red. Foggy, you spin my head right round. Next heal scroll being used. Everything is back to green, and not the Orcish green. He's struggling so hard. The Burrows are not fighting with him. He has a kind of a surround going on there, but the Demon Hunter is way too tanky, way too strong. GGG, 2-0, Foggy match points.
Damn.
One.
He didn't have him in as much of a chokehold, I guess we could say, as on map number 1, but solid, strong play through and through. And that double bestiary decision, oh, that was a risky one.
Yeah. Kind of playing it blind also with the Shadowhunter. And if you go for double Raiders, of course you wanted to go for the base races with speed scrolls and pillage, but Foggy had the perfect answer to it with the blocks of the Huntress. He was there when the Raiders came in, so he couldn't start that play really. And that was key to victory, I feel. To just deny that option for Cash. And then, yeah, the transition was way too late. The walkers were way too late. No mana on them. You can't fight against that then. No way in hell. Next map is Last Refuge.
Alright. Another good Talon map. On Twisted, it might be hard to find a choke. Not here. This is, yeah. Close terrain everywhere.
And let me remind you that Foggy has not lost a single map in this qualifier. 2-0 Agent, 2-0 Cash in the winners semifinals, 2-0 Hawk, and now he's 2-0 against Cash again. It's hard. It's really, really hard. 4-0 in 2 days.
Is he really gonna march through this without dropping a map? That would be a statement heading into Shanghai. He disappointed the fans a little bit. He probably disappointed himself a little bit by not qualifying in the first qualifier. That slot seemed reserved for him. Awkwalker had to say something about this, but now match point for him. All the cards are in his hands, and he's looking damn solid. And Cash, it seems like he needs to step up his game a little here if he wants to contest and contend Foggy in this best of 5.
Indeed. So, Demon Hunter first, Blade Master should be set in stone. Engine of War not at the shop, won't be harassed. Just the simple Ogre Warrior creep at the start. Can go towards the mercenary camp after if he wants to, or pull it back for defenses. But yeah, no greed by Foggy in his creep route so far. Just very solid, very standard. Doesn't want to overcommit or invite Cash to some situation that he can exploit. Except the one staff on TM, I think he's playing it very safe. Yep. Very thought out. And his plans are just working.
And that speaks to his confidence, right? Doesn't have to take any risks. Doesn't have to get an advantage from somewhere. If he just gets to a normal, decent game,
yeah,
he has a good shot of winning, as he has shown us again in the grand final. One map away from qualifying without dropping a map. That is goddamn crazy.
2,600 viewers are watching this. Will they witness a massive comeback by Cash? In the first qualifier, Foggy was down 2-0, but he fought back like a lion, equalizing the series to all of our surprises as Awkwalker looked so damn strong in those games. But it's rough. It's hard. TM, very good Blade Master map, very good hero map in general. Lots of experience on this map, tons of good items on this map as well. Plus Berserkers easily to access once this is creep. Very close to the base. This time it's a 1-burrow attack for Cash. Quite obvious, only on TM. You really don't want to do that. Maybe on TR as well.
And Foggy with his signature 1 Moonwell tech. I really think he's the only Night Elf who does this, isn't he?
Yeah. Maybe Moon as well, but I haven't seen too many games of his against Orc recently.
And of course, this is a little dangerous if the Orc decides to be aggressive. But the Demon Hunter trying to put pressure on the Orc to keep his own base safe, as he does all the time. We've seen some Asian Orcs going for Buying Circlet and into the Night Elf base right away. Maybe that would be an idea against Foggy, but it's too late for that now. He's gonna have to deal with this Demon Hunter, and of course Demon Hunter, he's not gonna get any kills here. He's not gonna deal any real damage here. But he's gonna keep the blade from creeping, and he's gonna get his base in a safe state back at home.
And he's creeping at the same time with the Engine of War and Archer against the Murlocs. Not really much damage done here. The dangerous thing about this is the poison doesn't affect the Engine of War, so Foggy, very, very safe spot there. Not too far out, not too easy to creep jack, just standard and safe. Tier 2, halfway done for Foggy, and even faster than Cash. This is really, really special for Foggy, so as I said before, very reliant on his tier 2 push. If the Orc says, okay, here, 1-burrow attack, that fucks with the timings of the Night Elf. But yeah, Foggy says, okay, if you attack on 1-burrow, I attack on 1 moon, well, what's the problem? And so he gets his timing back.
Has the teleportation staff, of course. I assume that's his favorite item.
Yeah.
He certainly makes use of it much better than almost anybody else, I would say.
Romantic was
player's
really
forces are under attack.
close at GCS when he defeated TH, basically only with the tally staff in the mirror 2-0. But yeah, apart from that, I think nobody really comes close.
Blade Master once again had the unfortunate drop of the Ring of Protection, getting the next one here, the next item I mean. And it's the next ring. Oh, this is not what you want to see when you're against the ropes.
Nope, not at all. Lady Luck is with the Ukrainian so far, but there are a lot more opportunities. Demon Hunter not at the tavern. Blade Master is expecting to hear the archer is there though, and there's the Beastmaster.
And by the way, he kept the archer alive. That is a little more damage. And also could perhaps block the entrance for the blade if he doesn't realize quickly enough, or for the grunts or something like that. So, getting 2 cancellations is a disaster. Is this going to happen again?
Why is he moving out with the Blade Master so far out? I do not understand. Lodge gone. He's blocking a bit. He's blocking well, actually. But at the end, the Demon Hunter reaches the Beastery. The Beastmaster almost gets in there. Will Beast squishing through. So this helps.
Oh, he needs to keep this alive. He needs to keep this alive. This cannot get cancelled. Is it gonna get cancelled though? It may rely on the evasion. Staff out. But it's still standing. Bestiary is still standing.
He does have another Quill Beast. Is it enough? Gets a grunt with this. Was denied though. 0 experience on the Beastmaster. But Cash holds on.
That was so close. 1 or 2 more attacks from the demon would have been enough. And that's important. That is so important.
A player's forces are
Yeah, you
under
can
attack.
come back if you only have Raiders. You can come back if you only have Walkers. But if you don't have both, that is almost GG. Foggy on the way to tier 3 though, as always, backing up this attack with a tier 3 tech. Creeping as well. Engine of War is in place. His creeping is really, really solid today. Always moving the Engine of War up in time. Always making good use of that building.
He's just so efficient with his time usage. Like, no matter where you look in this game, if you take a look at the replay after, like, at every stage he's doing something useful. Yeah. It is really damn impressive.
And on the other side, Cash's Blade Master was like at the shop, a little bit northern than the shop of Foggy, without doing anything, and has to run back then. So that's a major difference.
Yeah, I agree. I absolutely agree. And now the TC is gonna start creeping. He lost 1 grunt before, remember, so now he only has 1 left. Additionally, the Raider, of course. So his creeping is gonna be a little slow as well. Finally, he finds a claws of attack after the 2 rings from earlier.
Cash has 500 gold. Oh, starting this
he can't
creep
get burned.
spot.
He can't get burned.
He gets burned. Can he
can't
get
get out?
staff? He can buy a staff if he wants to. Will Foggy go for a double staff?
Player's forces are under
Or a Town Hall Invul Potions trying to fight out, but the item goes towards the Beastmaster. It's a big mana, and now he's trapping out. It's not enough. Oh my god. GG, it's over. Foggy going to Shanghai again. 4th GCS participation for Foggy, Balboa, and Harry Potter. He didn't need a lot of magic today. A broomstick was enough. And he can fly to Shanghai on that thing now.
Wow. How well was Foggy playing this entire qualifier? It is not just reflected in the results. Obviously, if you don't drop a map, that's crazy enough in and of itself. But also the fashion in which he did it. Yeah. Like today, only Hawk made him sweat once on TS. Yeah. And before that, all the games I saw were just convincing wins. Always in control. This guy is looking like a top contender for GCS again. If you ask me, maybe I'm being a little bit too much of a fanboy here, but I'm really impressed with him. Holy shit.
Like, what I see here is the improvement of Foggy between Qualifier 1 and Qualifier 2. Maybe it's a different mindset. Maybe he was too confident going into the first qualifier. But Cash made him sweat big time in the winner bracket final there. Got even a map off of him. And it looked like, okay, Cash is up there. Cash could cause an upset in the second qualifier. But no. Just no. I think Foggy used the 3 weeks really, really well. again, if he has time to prepare for something, and if he figures out a mistake, he figures out immediately how to solve that mistake. And that's very different from Foggy 2 years ago. That's even different from Foggy last year. A lot of improvement for the Ukrainian here. Really, really proud on that progress that he's making.
Yeah. And in the end, it's not going to be the massive surprise. In the end, it will still be Foggy qualifying. Not, I guess, in first place, if you want to call it that, but he will join the ranks of the best Warcraft players in the world, all meeting up in Shanghai next month.
Exactly. We do have the 16 players that we sent there to the Gold Championship Series. $16,500 on the line in November. And the 16 players are quite well spread amongst the 4 races, I gotta say. 3 humans. Infi, the runner-up of last year. TH, maybe the most creative human in the world. If he's in shape, he is definitely a contender for the win. So far, his GCS participations have always been a disappointment, thanks to Foggy, who has eliminated him twice. Romantic, the 4th place of that last time, is also there again, qualifying through the 2nd Asian qualifier. So the Human Alliance looking quite strong. The absence of Yumiko, once again, a disappointment for him, at least for a lot of fans as well, but doesn't seem to be strong enough at the moment. Then, the strongest faction for once is not the Night Elf faction. It's the Orcs! Fly, Focus, Xiao KK, So-In, Lin, and Orc Worker. Very, very promising. I mean, Xiao KK and So-In are the underdogs in this entire tournament. I think I would even rank Orc Worker a little bit higher than them. Maybe Cannon Fodder, we will see about that. Maybe they cause upsets. 2 Undeads, 120 and WFZ. Once again, the 2 guys who are representing Undead the best in the world will take this. The champion, the 2-time champion, 120 is looking for a hat-trick there. And 4 Night Elves. Life, Moon, Check, Lawliot. That means we have Lawliot back.
Of course.
And Foggy, of course. 5 Night Elves. Yeah, I'm sorry. We have Moon back. He wants to make up for his disappointing group stage loss last time. Life was playing quite decently last time. And Foggy, he always said, okay, last time 3rd place was good, but I want to go further. And if he fixes his matchup versus Undead, then I think, which he did recently, then he definitely has chances against 120 as well. If he will be so determined to finally make that up. Make up for all the losses he caused them.
And especially looking towards the Night Elves, I'm really looking forward to see who's actually the best, at least at that tournament, and that will determine who's the best in the world currently. Life, Moon, and Foggy, I think, are the prime contenders, but Check and Lawliot certainly always up for great performances as well. But yeah, it's going to be awesome. 1 more month, guys, and then we're going to crown a new champion of Warcraft.
We will release the date most likely on Wednesday. It's of course in the hands of the Chinese organizers. It's very, very, very likely that we are going. Depends on some terms. Ugri will not be there, unfortunately, so the #1 Warcraft 3 reporter will not be there. But it's also very, very, very likely that we have a replacement and a very dedicated reporter there as well. We will keep you up to date with all the infos on our social media, of course. The day is over, Remo. It was 8 hours today. And thank you, Grubby, for the host, by the way. I forgot to mention that in the grand final. It was a great day. So much support today. I think this was our most successful stream since July 2016, when it was Western qualifiers plus China versus Korea at one day. We can't thank you enough. This is not normal that this is happening. It is not normal that a 15-year-old game has 2,800 viewers. It's not normal that we are getting praised by you so much. We have no big agency behind us. We don't have a YouTube team or whatever. This is all grassroots work. This is crafted by our own hands. And this makes us so proud that many of you enjoy this. 4,000 Facebook likes, 2,000 Twitter followers. Sky is the limit. We're still aiming for 30,000 Twitch followers, but I think until GCS we will have that as well. Thank you all. It's been a pleasure to cast these final days for you. Next week's will most likely gonna be a little slower, but we will keep you up to date on our homepage, it's backtowarcraft.com, on our social media, Facebook and Twitter. You can see the maps or matches that you missed on our YouTube. All the links are under the stream, of course. If you want to support us, there are links as well for you. And with that being said, Remo, the last words belong to you, as there is for me only one more thing to do.
This was an awesome week, ending in an awesome last day here. But we'll be back next week. On Wednesday, actually, we're going to have Jera Cup, so you guys better follow us here and check out our homepage so we can meet each other again for next week for more Warcraft action here at Back to Warcraft.
Yeah, the Do Nuts goodbye routine. Bye-bye.
Wir sehen euch bald wieder. Wir schreiben fleißig an einem neuen Album und